So in the literature review of this article, it basically talked about how there's raising the how the labor force for women is raising at a steady rate, and basically it's become more prevalent as an area of study. Um, and it's also important to note that it that in these dual earner couples, many are struggling to incorporate like the working responsibilities, um, plus the family needs and the spouse's needs into the relationship. In increasingly, there has been like studies that have shown that gender roles have been increasingly egalitarian, which has really led to the challenge of traditional views from both men and women. So that'll really come up in the study as well. And there was really a particular emphasis on family conflict, work family conflict, throughout the entire study, and basically throughout all the literature that the authors used. Basically, scholars have emphasized that among individuals who are married, it can really it can really affect the partners and cause crossover from like work and family. So this study centers on the roles of gender in work-family conflict and how that relates to the satisfaction in the marriage and the satisfaction in the home. So attention is directed to um, basically marriage satisfaction. In the methods, the authors used 4 research questions, one addressing how gender ideology from the respondent um, how, from the respondent how that family to work conflict for them relates to their marriage satisfaction, and then there's also whether the respondent's family to work conflict relates to the marriage satisfaction. So there's gender ideology, marriage, work family conflict, and the final 2 have to do with the spouses, the same thing except now looking at the spouse's point of view. And these are all concerning dual earner couples who work around the same amount, make around the same money, and basically both contribute to the family. In the results, it was shown that gender ideologies don't always come into play. They're not always predictable. So it's really important to consider that in the findings. Um, the wife's experience also um, may conflict. Uh, Actually, no. The work family conflict that wives experience may has shown to increase the demand of a husband's participation in things like housework, childcare, things like that. So, what's also relevant is like for husbands, family to work conflict, it was associated with um, marriage satisfaction being lowered for more egalitarian husbands and their wives, which is actually pretty surprising considering for egalitarian relationships, you would think the relationship would be more equal and the husband would be more understanding and sympathetic to the wife. So, also, husbands' gender ideologies appear to play a very strong role, a stronger role than what their wives have in moderating like the work family conflicts. So it basically relates to the marital status and the satisfaction both partners are feeling. And in addition, there was really no evidence to support that the spouse's gender ideologies entails how the respondents' families' work conflict relates to the marital satisfaction of the person in the study. One thing the author pointed out towards the end of the paper was that this was a regional sample, so it's really not, you really shouldn't generalize the findings beyond this area of study, because you wouldn't get a true reading or a general reading of the areas and the findings results.